What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number? I asked you a question. Hey guys, I do have a Monday editorial for you today. I apologize, no pictures on this one. You're probably just going to see my ugly mug talking to you. I'm sure the trolls are going to love that one. But in this one, I'm going to post a link to the story and a video in the description box below. Now, I've gone through a couple of videos and they seem to kind of almost show the same thing. I mean, there's just no real way to look at exactly what happened, but I will tell you what you do see in the video is a police officer who he's got huge muscles. I'm looking at the picture, which is the thumbnail to this video, but he probably at least 200-pound plus cop on top of a teenager, and just slams his face into the concrete and then starts punching him while the teen's out with his arms out like this. These guys, their adrenaline was up and they just lost control out there, these cops. And it's funny how it's Florida police. Florida, I'm sorry for people that live in Florida, but your cops are out of control. Because this isn't the first editorial I've done about police officers in Florida losing control on a scene. Now what happened was the high school student was attempting to retrieve a cell phone that had fallen out of the pocket of another teen that was being arrested. A Florida police deputy has been placed on restricted duty, that means he's still getting paid, after cell phone video footage surfaced of two white officers slamming the head of a pepper-sprayed black teenager against the ground while placing him under arrest on Thursday. Now, so many people have shared these videos and the incident on Twitter and Facebook over the weekend, tagging them Justice for Luca and demanding that the officers be fired or prosecuted. Well, they definitely should be prosecuted for assault because, come on. But they won't be, because police officers have a gun, they have a badge, they have the authority to kick your ass, and there's nothing you can do about it but smile and say, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" And under the color of law enforcement, they can do this and then walk out of a courtroom or walk out of the police department and say, "Yes, America is great. I can kick people's ass and I get paid for it. Why don't you join the UFC and see how far you get?" But if you all think you're free in America, if you think you're free, wake up. You're not free. You're simply free under... Let me reword this. If you think you're free in America to just walk and do what you want and live freely and, you're free under the watching eye of law enforcement. Free under the watchful eye of law enforcement. They can stop you at any time and say, "Well, we had a call of this crime and you look like the suspect." You may not be the suspect. You just may have the same color hair and build as the person. They'll throw you to the ground. They'll search your pockets. They'll handcuff you. They find out you're not the person and they say, "You can go. Have a nice day." And they get in their car and they drive off because, hey, we're cops and we can do whatever we want. We've got guns. We've got badges. We've got the authority and the power to do so. And there are law enforcement officers that are laughing about this. They are. They're like, "Hey, man, it's what we get paid to do. Right, Officer Rob of Corona? Yeah, I know you've probably got another name and you're watching, because you're watching. Officer Rob of Corona. Yeah, your job is in trouble, is in jeopardy too. You keep looking up people's information on YouTube and you don't have the authority to do so or the probable cause to do so. You can get fired for that. You know that, right, Officer Rob of Corona? Now, back to Broward County. Yeah, this is my political pedestal. I apologize, but hey, we're sick of this. America is sick of seeing these cops out of control, anger management issues, losing it on the scene. Broward County Sheriff Gregory Toney said in a statement Friday that the department would conduct a thorough investigation. Don't they always conduct a thorough justification? Into the incident, and said that Deputy Christopher Krikovich, that's his name, Christopher Krikovich, one of the officers pictured in the video, had been placed on restricted duty. He's still getting paid as a cop. In an arrest warrant affidavit, Krikovich said that the teenage boy, who has been identified on social media as Luca or DeLuca, took an aggressive stance towards his partner while they were arresting another teenager for trespassing. I question the trespassing. The 15-year-old appeared in court Friday morning where he was formally charged with assault, resisting arrest, and trespassing. Video of the arrest began to circulate on social media soon after the incident occurred. It went viral. There's more down here. In the affidavit, Krikovich said that he and his partner, Sergeant Greg Lacera, with a C for cocksucker, responded to a call from a McDonald's in Tamarack, Florida at 3 p.m. on Thursday after employees reported a large group of teenagers gathering for a fight outside the restaurant. He wrote that the McDonald's was a popular after-school gathering for students from a nearby high school and the scene of frequent fights. Krikovich and Lacera arrived after the fight had ended, per the affidavit, but as they ordered the crowd of teens to disperse, they identified one of the perpetrators from Wednesday's fight who had been warned not to trespass in the area again and took him into custody. Krikovich writes, quote, "While I was dealing with the male on the ground, I observed his phone slide to the right of me and then behind me. I observed a teen wearing a red tank top reach down and attempt to grab the male student's phone." It's probably his friend, right? When Lacera ordered the other boy to stay back, he said the teenager took an aggressive stance. I question that, because I know how cops are, toward the officer and bladed his body and began clenching his fists. I doubt that. Use the common sense factor here. The teenager reaches down to get probably his friend's cell phone. The cop says, what did he say? I ordered the boy to stay back. We know how they order people to stay back, right? Or even if he was aggressively, get back, the teenager probably got, whoa, this cop's crazy kind of a thing. Or he's probably like, whoa, man. It's called reaction, officer. Lacera pepper sprayed the teen in the face and forced him to the ground. Krikovich wrote, "There were more than 200 students in the crowd. We were scared. We were pissing our pants." Oh, it doesn't say that. It says there were more than 200 students in the crowd, according to Krikovich, and this is when many of them started recording the incident on their phones. That's because you were out of control. There's a whole lot more I can't get into right now. I do have to get ready to go to work. Yes, some of us cop watchers have jobs. Additional videos of the incident taken by other students have been surfacing on social media throughout the weekend. Man, they're all over the place on YouTube. I've watched a couple. I was trying to get and if you go to the link to the story below, you will see a picture of this student. He's really bloodied right here. Well, it looks like, and head wounds bleed really bad sometimes. But it looks like he has a cut right here and it just bled everywhere. And that was on Twitter as well. It looks like a Twitter picture. But there's a whole lot more here, and I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Krikovich and Lacera, these two deputies that just, in my humble opinion, I know I'm armchair quarterback, and they lost it out there. They lost control, and it says, and even there he said the teen's cell phone fell out of his pocket and slid over behind him. A student picked it up. All they had to do was say, "Hey, do you know this kid, or is that your cell phone, or what have you?" You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's a lot going on, and I'm armchair quarterbacking. I wasn't there on the scene. I wasn't one of the deputies. But still, I do have some experience in law enforcement training. Went through a couple police academies, one in Texas, one in California. And I'm saying that to validate that I, in my humble opinion and experience, I think they overreacted. I think they overreacted. There was no reason to slam that kid's head down on the asphalt. There was no reason for that. If the kid, let's say if that other kid began resisting for one reason or another, a grab of the hair and pull his head back, he'll stop right away. A control hold right here and torque that wrist a little, he'll do whatever you want. He'll bark like a dog. If you torque that wrist a little, he'll bark like a dog. It doesn't take a strong person to do that. A 12-year-old could grab an adult, a full-grown adult, and you torque that wrist, that adult will do whatever that 12-year-old wants him to do. So here you have a teenager and a big, strong, buff deputy. I'm sure he could do a little control hold on that kid. No, it's just easier to slam his face into the concrete and then punch him because you're, yeah, man, I'm ground and pound. Yes, I'm very upset by this because I'm tired of seeing this every day. This is why I cop watch. All you officers that are offended by me filming you or recording you with a camera, this is why I do it, and you better start telling these other officers, hey man, stop violating people's rights and they'll stop recording us with a camera. I'm trying to talk a little quieter because I got people sleeping in here, but I've got to go. News Now Ukaipa letting you know what's going on across your nation with law enforcement, and I'm telling you guys, if you live in Broward County, Florida, now is the time to take a peaceful protest on the steps of the police department and say, or the sheriff's department, and say to that sheriff of Broward County, we want you gone and we want new deputies in this department. News Now Ukaipa, thank you for watching. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great Easter. More to come this week. Cross your nation with editorials.